Welcome to Part-Time Gamer. This is going to be my first Let's Play, and we're going to be tackling Dragon Age Inquisition. Now, I chose Dragon Age Inquisition for my first Let's Play purely because I just finished Dragon Age Origins and absolutely fell in love with that world. I thought the way it took your choices and molded the world around you, there were actual consequences for things that you did and said, I thought was great. I've wanted to play Dragon Age Inquisition for a while, but due to life, job, family, social obligations, I just really haven't had a chance to get to it. And I have a pretty long queue of games that I've been wanting to play for a really long time and never really had the chance to, so this is my chance to do it. I find pockets of time here and there. Could be 15 minutes, could be a half an hour, maybe even an hour. I probably won't make any of my videos an hour long, it's not to bore you, but I'll try to cut these up into manageable pieces and we'll try to get through some of these games. I don't rush through games, but at the same time I'm not going to explore every little nook and cranny. I'll really go where the story takes me. That could be side quests that I find interesting, or maybe it's just following the main storyline. I guess we'll kind of see. I like to play it by ear. I don't really come in with any particular plan. But I'm really excited for this one. I did play Dragon Age Origins. I'm not going to upload the world, but I do want to take what maybe I would think of as being canon and just take their default. So without further ado, here is Dragon Age Inquisition. One other thing I will say, I don't like talking over cutscenes. So I will try really hard not to talk over cutscenes. And I'm going to do some comparisons back to Dragon Age Origins since it's pretty fresh in my mind, and I just had a chance to finish that. Because I do think there are some things that Dragon Age Origins has done better, and some things I think Dragon Age Inquisition has done better. I've only played through the prologue, so I don't really know very much of the story, really just the basics, because I would like to enjoy this along with you instead of just knowing what's going to happen the whole time and then you just kind of following along. So, similar to Dragon Age Origins, we have humans, elves, and dwarves, but the Qunari, this is actually a new race that was not playable in Dragon Age Origins. And I didn't play Dragon Age 2, it didn't get quite as good of reviews, plus I really wanted to jump into this game. I just kind of got too excited, and you know, I don't have time to play through a whole nother Dragon Age game, so I sunk quite a bit of time into Dragon Age Origins, and I didn't even do nearly all the quests, not even close. So let's look at the different races. So humans start with an extra ability point. Elves get a bonus to ranged defense. There's a little bit of survivability there. Dwarves get a bonus to magic defense, and that would have to be really helpful because there's some pretty powerful magic, I would assume, in here. And then the Qunari get 10% physical damage resistance. It's kind of interesting. They didn't get 25% like the others. I wonder if maybe you just get more physical damage throughout the game, and they didn't want to make it too overpowered. So I'm actually going to go with a human female, and that is what my character is going to be. So let's be a human female. Let's look at the different classes. We have rogues make a return, so you can either be a dual-wielding rogue or an archer. And I remember archers being pretty terrible in Origins. I actually started the game as an archer, and then pretty quickly changed to a dual-wielding warrior. Which brings us to warrior. You can either be a two-handed warrior with big war hammers and great axes, or you could do weapon and shield, which is kind of the tank class. And there was more flexibility back in Origins. You could actually be a dual-wielding warrior, and that was actually the character I ended up finishing with. And finally, mages, super powerful. Oh, one thing, I wanted to go back and look at the races, because in Origins, they had their origin stories, which meant that each race had multiple starting points. You know, and eventually you kind of get back to the same place where everyone would kind of be carrying on through the story. But one of the coolest things was being able to start in different ways. Like elves, for example, you could either be a Dalish elf, which was an elf that lived in the forest, or you could be a city elf. And the city elves were kind of in these slums in the major cities and really kind of treated like slaves. So it was really kind of cool the different origin stories you could start out with. And I was a little bit bummed that they didn't do that here because it definitely wasn't quite as robust. But I thought the intro has been pretty cool so far. So I'm actually going to go with I haven't really decided. I want to do either archer or dual wielding rogue. You know, I'm going to go dual wielding rogue. Let's start with that. And I'm not really looking for a huge challenge. I want to enjoy the world. I don't want it to be super easy, so I'm going to go with normal. So this is me. I'm going to be a human female dual wielding rogue on normal. I'm not going to import a world state. I'm just going to use the default. We're going to call this canon, because I would assume that whatever the default is what BioWare wanted you to explore, I guess, in the canon way that they would have seen this out. But from what I've read, your decisions from the first two games will carry through. And if you didn't play one or either of the Origins or Dragon Age 2, you can actually go to the Dragon Age Keep, which is a website that allows you to make those choices. So you can make the choices of who you save and who does what and things like that, and they will actually make an impact on this game, which I thought was pretty cool. That they're willing to really see this series through, and you can have those decisions really drive what it is you do. Okay, so we have our character customization, and I usually don't spend too much time on it, especially when they have really cool options. I really like this one. So select, and I'm just going to go with Evelyn, the basic name, and I thought this was a pretty cool look. So let's just go with that and get into the game, because I want to see where the story takes us. So again, as they talk, I'm going to try not to talk over them. I may make some small comments here and there, but I want you to be able to get the story and get drawn in with me, because nobody likes it when you talk over dialogue. I mean, come on. Oh, I hate spiders. I hate spiders. Always have, ever since I was a little kid. Freak me out. All the legs, all the eyes. I mean, is that really necessary? Alright, so someone found us, so that's either a really good thing or a really bad thing. The nice thing about this game, the loading screens really are not too bad. I'm playing on PlayStation 4, so if you're playing on PC and you have a really nice rig, chances are you don't have to deal with these same loading screens that I do. But I'm a PlayStation guy. That's really what ever since PlayStation 1, that's what I've gamed on. Never really big a Nintendo or Microsoft, so I've pretty much been a Nintendo or a PlayStation guy for most of my life. Yeah, getting found might have been a bad thing.
Tell me why we shouldn't kill you now. The Conclave is destroyed. Everyone who attended is dead. Except for you.
That's pretty convenient. Alright, so I tend to play kind of the, not necessarily pacifist, but I'm not very aggressive in these games. You know, like if some people might say, oh yeah, I'm going to be the hard ass or remain silent. No, that's not me. I think it's actually horrible what happened to those people.
What do you mean everyone's dead?
Explain this.
I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
I don't know what that is, or how it got there.
You're lying!
We need her, Cassandra.
God, All those people. So it's kind of cool they have like these icons that kind of give you a general idea of the tone in which you're going to say things. That's one thing I've noticed in a lot of games. They give you these options, like all those people, they might not say that. They might say something kind of similar, but you don't always know the tone. That was actually one thing I didn't like about Fallout 4, was a lot of you would make these choices, and you would think you're saying something maybe sarcastically, but in the end you're actually just being really rude.
I can't believe it. All those people. Dead.
Do you remember what happened? How this began?
I remember... running. Things were chasing me, and then... a woman?
A woman?
She reached out to me, but then...
Go to the forward camp, Liliana. I will take her to the rift.
Oh, Liliana. She was probably my favorite companion in Origins.
What did happen?
It will be easier to show you.
Yeah, I had Liliana in my team with a bow. Pretty much just so that she could pick locks. I don't really know how much she added to the team's damage output. But still really liked her.
We call it the Breach. It's a massive rift into the world of demons that grows larger with each passing hour. It's not the only such rift, just the largest. All were caused by the explosion at the Conclave.
An explosion can do that?
This one did. Unless we act, the breach may grow until it swallows the world.
Oh, that looks like it hurts.
Each time the breach expands, your mark spreads, and it is killing you. It may be the key to stopping this, but there isn't much time.
Well, if I can help, I will.
I understand.
Then
I'll do what I can. Whatever it takes.
they have decided your guilt. They need it. The people of Haven mourn our most holy, divine Justinia, head of the Chantry. The Conclave was hers. It was a chance for peace between mages and Templars. She brought their leaders together. Now they are dead. We lash out like the sky, but we must think beyond ourselves, as she did. Until the breach is sealed. There will be a trial. I can promise no more. Come. It is not far.
Where are you taking me?
Your mark must be tested on something smaller than the breach.
O Creator, see me kneel, for I walk only where you...
Open the gate. We are heading into the valley.
Yeah, so overall, I think visually this game looks pretty good. You know, like most games, there's some moments where things maybe don't look great and there's a little bit of clipping. But for the most part, I think this looks really nice. But again, I am coming from Origins, which is on the PlayStation 3, so definite upgrade here.
The pulses are coming faster now. The larger the breach grows, the more rifts appear, the more demons we face.
How did I survive the blast?
They said you stepped out of a rift, then fell unconscious. They say a woman was in the rift behind you. Find me!
Yeah, of course. The minute you leave, something pops up trying to kill me. Lucky, lucky for me, some daggers on the floor. So I will say, the one thing I feel like is really nice about this compared to the other ones, so in Origins, you would basically press X, and that would initiate auto attack on the enemies. And here you actually have to kind of attack yourself.
It's over.
Drop your weapon. Now!
Okay, hold on.
All right. Have it your way.
Wait. I cannot protect you. And I cannot expect you to be defenseless.
That would have been really interesting if they would have kept me actually disarmed.
I should remember you agreed to come willingly.
Cassandra's character is pretty interesting.
Take these potions. Maker knows what we will face.
It does kind of seem like
Where are
she
all your
flip-flops a
soldiers?
little bit,
At the forward camp or fighting.
but it's almost as if it's more about her inner dilemma than bad writing or character design, to be honest. Alright, so dexterity, that helps with damage on rogues. I do know that.
We are on our own for now.
And I do remember in... Let's see what my weapons look like. I do remember in Origins, if you're a rogue and you hit from behind, you actually get more damage by hitting from behind as opposed to attacking them
There!
head on.
Watch out! If we flank them, we may gain the advantage.
It's kind of cool. Stealth. And then they can't see me. I got an ability. That's cool. Alright. So yeah, so I did get a chance to play on Rogue just a little bit. That was kind of cool. Maybe a little squishy. Money, 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 money! Money! So I'd be interested to see how important money is. Oh. What did I miss? I hate missing stuff. If I just never would have noticed it, I never would have went and got it. So I don't know how important money is in this game. I felt like in Origins, there were a couple weapons that were really, really expensive that you wanted to get with money.
Up on the
Don't
hill.
look at me.
It attacks from a distance.
But in this game, I haven't played enough to know, because sometimes in these games, money is good for nothing, and it's like, why even pick out money? Ooh, that was weird. What happened? So in this game, you can actually lock on, so that's what you're seeing with
Make it take you.
that red outline. You'd find out you can lock onto your targets, which is kind of cool. And it's good for when you're playing this class, because then you can stay behind them. You kind of strafe around them. Whereas if you're not locked on, the getting behind and positioning and stuff can be kind of tough. And if you're trying to stay behind them and use abilities so that you get more out of your abilities, your damage dealing abilities,
They're falling from the breach.
then just without locking on can be really tough. But then it's also kind of difficult. Where are you? So like 20, let's see, from behind I'm doing like 29. I'm actually interested in seeing what the damage difference is. Attacking in the front versus behind. Because I guess it's only like 5%. It's not really all that worth it. from what I remember in the last game, it was very worth it to attack from behind. Let's see. So we got 40, 38. Don't kill him yet. And then in the front, it's 20. Oh, is that like double damage? No way. 34, 32, 32. Oh, I died pretty fast. There's no way, right? So maybe it's more like 30% or 50%? That must have been a fluke. There's no way it's double damage when you attack from behind.
I
feel like that would make
you can hear the fighting.
this class
They're fighting.
overpowered.
You'll
Unless
see
they have the
soon.
same flanking
We
bonus
must
as
help
everybody
them.
else. Alright. Because I don't want to use potions. Because I am very conservative with potions. I try really hard not to use anything. Because from what I can tell, we only have 8. So, when you only have 8 potions, you don't want to get all potion happy.
Quickly! Before more come through!
What did you do?
I did nothing. The credit is yours.
I did that?
I closed that thing. How?
Whatever magic opened the breach in the sky also placed that mark upon your hand. I theorized the mark might be able to close the rifts that have opened in the breach's
He's
wake.
completely covered in
And
blood.
it seems I was correct.
Meaning it could also close the breach itself.
Possibly. It seems you hold the key to our salvation.
Good to know. Here I thought we'd be ass-deep in demons forever. Varric Tethras, rogue, storyteller, and occasionally unwelcome tag-along.
They must be ex-lovers or something, because that is that is definitely a sneer right there.
That's a nice crossbow you have there.
Ah, isn't she? Bianca and I have been through a lot together.
You named your crossbow Bianca.
Of course. And she'll be great company in the valley.
Absolutely not. Your help is appreciated, Varric, but
Have you been in the valley lately, Seeker? Your soldiers aren't in control anymore. You need me.
My name is Solus, if there are to be introductions. I am pleased to see you still live.
He means I kept that mark from killing you while you slept.
Oh, well, thank you.
How did you do that?
Healing magic and minor wards. But I fear your mark is now past the point where those will help you. Cassandra, you should know, the magic involved here is unlike any I have seen. Your prisoner is no mage. Indeed, I find it difficult to imagine any mage having such power.
understood. We must get to the forward camp quickly.
So it sounds like he doesn't need doesn't
Well-
think it's my fault.
Bianca's excited.
So far, Varric, I think, is my favorite tag-along. Another thing, too, if you're playing this for the first time like I
This
am,
way, down the bank.
if
The
you're
road
on
ahead is
PlayStation 4,
We must move quickly.
you can click the left analog stick, and it'll kind of send this little pulse out, and it'll show you where there's stuff you can loot and pick up nearby, which I think is an awesome addition, because I don't like to miss things if they're right around me. It's kind of a bummer if you just walk right by something and don't even see it. So it's kind of nice being able to at least catch some of those things, because I do enjoy looting and upgrading my weapons and things like
Demons
that.
ahead!
Though I will
Glad
say,
you brought me now, Seeker.
I'm not going to go out there and try to loot every little bit, because I just do not have time for such a thing. Okay, so this is the tactile camera. I don't really use this. This is kind of cool if you're the type of person that likes to play like RTS games and you just kind of want to order people to do certain things, control everything that everybody does. I'm going to play this more like an action RPG than I am something else. The coolest thing I have to say about this is it tells you a little bit about the enemies. So if you're fighting a boss, something that is hard, you can hover over it, and like for example these wraiths you can see, they're immune to physical effects and they cannot be poisoned. So don't try to poison them or do any physical effects, whatever a physical effects means. So I'm just gonna kind of go back into cover. I'm gonna try to get this guy, because this guy looks like a major baddie. Yeah. And then you, I don't like you. So these wraiths are kind of like bad guy mages a little bit. In a burning building. What if I get burned if I go in here? Well, I didn't get burned, but I did find something. 'Cause this is where that kind of searching function helps. Gold and an aquamarine. I do know there's a pretty robust crafting system in this game. So I wonder if you use those aquamarines to craft stuff. Or maybe you can just sell it. I do remember there being, yep,
So, are you
something
innocent?
over here.
I don't remember what happened.
Elf root.
That'll get you every time. Should have spun a story.
That's what you would have done.
It's more believable and less prone to result in premature execution.
Varric is very fun to have in the party. I like his banter. Oh, bad guys. Oh, hide. Yeah, big damage. I'm trying to get behind him. Apparently you can't move while you're also going stabby. So... Loop.
I hope Liliana made it through all this.
She's resourceful, Seeker.
We will see for ourselves at the forward camp. We're almost there.
Oh, Liliana. She is... pretty awesome.
Another rift!
We must seal it! Quickly!
Okay. Hide.
Coming! Help us!
That's pretty good. Disrupt rift. That's cool.
Hurry! Use the mark!
Close rift. So when you hit that disrupt rift, you can actually like hurt enemies, because in order for you to level up. In order for you to close the rifts, you do have to kill everything first. Alright, so let's see. So each tree has different abilities. The diamonds here, those are actual abilities that you activate, whereas the circles, those are all passive abilities. So let's see. I wouldn't mind having another ability to actually hit stuff. So you leap through the shadows to attack your foe with deadly strikes that hit them from behind. Cool. And it's cooldown of 8 seconds. This is a cooldown of 8. So that gives me 2 more abilities. That's going to like double my damage output. So yeah, let's do that. Okay. What do we have here? Strikes cut deeper into any foe whose current health is lower than your own. Oh, that's kind of cool. So if they have less health than me, do more. Unforgiving chain. Each strike adds to your critical hit chance. After a critical attack, your chain resets. Well, that's kind of cool. So you can actually like really up your critical hit chance. Never-ending spin. Oh, spinning blades. You move status effects to nearby foes while stripping them from foes your daggers hack. really know what that means, but okay. Oh, and I'm a human, so I have an extra ability point. So what do I want to do? Dance of Death. Regain stamina with every kill. I don't know if I really have any stamina things. Attacks upon a target's back or flank are much more likely to be killing blows. Oh, I can add 10% critical hit chance? Death blow. I can't get to these yet, but maybe I want to work to this one. Lash out. Deadly skill. Oh. So for every 1% of missing health, we get 3%. Oh, so the more that they're killed. Let's try to make our way to that. Let's see what the other trees are. Archery. I do not need archery. Let's see. Sabotage. Let's see. Poison weapons. I can coat my weapons in poison. And that will poison them over time. Caltrop. Scatter spikes behind you, hurting and slowing them down. Okay, and then here I have my stealth, which is important to keep that. Evasion, so I have a 10% chance not to take damage, and easy to miss. Enemies are likely to overlook you in combat, much to their regret, especially true if you're flanking them. Oh, so I can remove my threat. Well, you know what? I think I'm going to try to focus on damage, and I guess I could always get some of those passive ones if I feel like I'm having a hard time staying alive. So let's do regain stamina with every kill, because I want to make my way to that other. I want to get this, because that'll give me 3 abilities. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Oh, and there's parry. Quickly block a strike and then counter. Yeah, that seems a little bit more defensive. Seems a little more defensive. Okay. So that's actually going to that's going to do it for my first one. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here. I hope that you will keep watching along with me.
Well done.
And feel free to leave some comments below. And if you want me to do things differently, or if I'm screwing something up big time, let me know. But no spoilers, okay? Don't go telling me that like Varric's going to die in like a half an hour or something, because that would be really... That would suck a lot. So anyways, no spoilers, but go ahead, leave me some tips, some suggestions on how to play my playthrough, and we'll see you next time.